So I'm here taking a look at the CHERY Tiggo 9. This is one of the old Chinese brands here, and they're modernizing really fast. So I'm just going to show you a walk around view. So let's start from the windshield. So you can see some cameras in the windshield for rain sensing wipers, adjustment of the suspension, reading the road signs, auto stop, and all those kind of functions. And the windshield is nicely blacked out, so I don't think you need to do it after market. And we come to the bonnet. The bonnet has some creases, looking really nice. It's not overdone, it's just the right amount of creases. And you can see VW style wipers coming from Bosch. And then come down to the grill area. They've got this bold grill now, and I touched it earlier. The plastics feel really solid, and you got your huge CHERY badge in here with another camera here, and your number placement area integrated in the grill. And the grill goes all the way down. You can see there's extra space down there as well. And if you look in there, the radiator is huge, reaching all the way down, and you've got some chrome material going all around it. That looks really nice. So let me just step back a little. So looking at the lighting, we have the daytime running lights here on the edge, and it's the same on the other side. And you got two beams here. So you got the low beam here, you got a high beam in there, and then on this side, maybe you can't see it on the camera, is a light that I believe will serve as fog light or for turning. And if we look down here, there is a airflow pass through here. Not sure if the camera, yes, you can see the airflow here for aerodynamics. And underneath here is a 2.0 T engine. We go on to the left hand side. They have these decorations blocking the view, but let's take a look at the tire. So this one is coming with Maxxis tires, but the tire size is 245/50 rim 20 tires. And I like the design of these rims. They look really nice and will be easy to clean. And we go up here, the wheel well is covered by not dark material, by plastic material, and there's this nice design accent here. And we look at the bonnet, it has this muscular looking feel. Let me just shut the door. So if you look at the mirror, you have a camera here, and then you have your turn signal light here. So being a gas car, there's not a lot of touches done like most of the electric cars, but if you look at the design, it looks really nice in my opinion. You got these pop-out style door handles, which will recess when the car is in motion. And we'll go around the car before we come to the interior. So if we look at the driving mirrors, it's a regular conventional style mirror. I don't see any blind spot monitor here, but with all the tech you have in cars now, it might be indicated on the screen. We'll get inside in a second, and you can see the windows are blacked out from factory. The whole design of this car is really nice. Although it's a 5-seater, it looks long and feels like a 7-seater. So you look at the design of the C-pillar here, and it's not just that one. And we go down here to the rear tires, and if you look at the rear tire, it is the same size, 245/50 rim 20, and in the same wheel. And if we look down there, the wheel wells are covered in this nice carpet material, which is going to help with sound deadening. And we move on to the back. So it has this falling design shape, kind of like what Jaguar did with the F-Pace, if you're looking at it from this angle. That's my opinion. And then you have your rear light assembly starting from the side. On the camera, it might appear orange, but it's red, and it's of very nice curve, very nice design. You got your indication here, LED vision, and you got these individual LED lighting integrated in there in the assembly. And the daytime running light continues all the way from the left to the right, and you have the same design on that right side. Let me step back so we can see the rear. I think it looks pretty. What do you think? Being a gas car, they have some fake exhaust exits here on both ends, on the left and on the right. But I would say it gives it a really nice design touch. And as you can see, you get your CHERY, your Tiggo 9 here badging. You get a number plate placement area. Unlike some cars that put it way down below, this one is right under the boot lid opening button. And you get another camera here. And on the windshield, which is blacked out from factory, you have, of course, a rear wiper. And I like how they place the top rear light on top of the bonnet. It's not stretching all the way, but it's right in the middle and very conspicuous and will be easy to see. And we go on to the right hand side, looking very nice. And from this angle, you can see how stretched the car is. I'll put a full length of the car on the screen, and this is where you open. It's manually done to refill, so you got 95 or more run here in China. And but he was telling me you can go with 92 as well, but 95 is recommended. I don't know what it will be in your I don't know what the rating will be in your country. So on the right hand side, the design is going to be similar to the left hand side. So let's go and continue the review from the interior. Now before we open the boot, let's look at the top. So I'm 183 centimeters tall, and the camera is at my head height, and I can see the top of the car, the roof, which is nice. It's got some rails as well. I believe you can mount something there, some load there if you want to. So let's open the boot and see what it has to offer. So when you press, it opens relatively fast and it goes up quite high as well. And you have handles here to pull it to shut. That's if you want to do it manually, but there's a button here to press to shut the boot. And the boot lid itself is plastic, which is okay. It's automatic boot, so you don't have to worry about carrying a heavy boot lid. And then in the boot, unfortunately, they have all these decorations, but we can see here it's got some very thick, almost living room floor, a thickness carpet material there. And out here we have a 12-volt socket. You just flip it to open, and then you have some rails here to install a parcel shelf. You get some hooks here, and with the things displayed in here, you can see how much luggage you can carry. And the boot is all blacked out. You get one light here, so it's just one lighting, but it's bright enough, I believe, it to do the job. But I would have wished that they had another one on the other side, being a relatively bigger car. And then we raise this carpet, and you can see the false floor is also of a very thick, nice carpet material. And if we leave the false floor, you can see you get extra storage in there, which is insane amount of space, and it's all on the bottom of the false floor. So besides the regular boot space, you have more than enough extra space beneath the false floor. And here you got these runners here to help to slide things in and out the car easier. And it's not very high, so it's going to be easy for anyone to load up things. Even kids will be comfortable here to load things up this car. And I like that the rear bumper is not too protruding, and so it is not going to be intrusive in getting things in the car. So that's it for the boot. And it's got a wide opening as well, so if you want to load some rectangular stuff with the rear seats collapsed, it should be quite simple to do. And to shut the boot, you just, as usual, press that. Nothing new there, but it goes down relatively fast, and then it shuts nicely. Soft closing, so that's nice. Let's continue from the rear. So you pull it, and the doors are heavy, but they rotate nicely. We look at the configuration of the door. So the windows are blacked out, but you get lots of padding, lots of rubber seals around to help with sound deadening. And let's see so the windows are not double glazed, but they are thick enough. The glass is thick enough, and it goes up really nicely. And we come down here, it's not Alcantara, it's this nice fabric. It's not very soft, but it's got slight padding to it. And then we come down here, you have a wood trim here, your door opening lever, which is a physical one. I like that. You got a tweeter grill here, and then you also have some ambient lighting hiding underneath that nice bronze sort of panel there. And then you have some nice leather right here with some nice stitching. You got plastic on the bottom part, extending into the door pockets. So things might rattle about, but if you have some material to put in there, it will deaden the sound. And then you have the speaker grill down here. Speakers coming from Sony. That's nice to see. The door itself opens up to about 65, I'll say 65, 70 degrees, and entry will not be too difficult. The only part of the door I see piano black is the part where you have the button for raising and lowering your windows, but I guess it's fine. And then we go down to the interior. So before we go in the interior, you have a lever here for adjusting the backrest. And if you look inside, you get very nice stitching on the seats, and I like that the design is kind of protruding. Manufacturers are now starting to understand that passengers need a little bit more thigh extension, so the seat has been extended. And CHERY is sold in many countries as well, and so I think that they're trying to appeal to their international customers. And if you look at the isofix anchor points, which are on both window seats, you would think that you flip this to have access to it, but no, it's a press. So you press it, and it's very tactile as well. So if you're fixing a child seat, you don't need to worry about it. You just come in with the hooks and it will recess automatically. That's a neat feature. And then you get your seat belt hanging here. Very, very easy to access. It's not snapped behind the seat or anything like that. It's just hanging here. So it's very easy to pull and engage it. And the seats are kind of firm, but when you sit in them, they're kind of comfortable. Very comfortable, I would say. And some very nice stitching on the seats as well. All blacked out in here. And then you have the seat belt hooks that can be recessed into the holes here in the seat. So that's a really nice touch. They are not in the way if you don't need them, and if you need them, you just pull them up like that. I like that. And the middle row seat is also intelligently placed in there. Let's just sit in it and see what we see here. So when you're sat in here, the seat is kind of narrow though. Sitting here, it has a nice smallish pocket on the rear. You got your rear air vents, physical air vents. You got a space here which is lined with felt, so you can drop a phone here and it won't scratch. And you got two wired charging ports, so a type C and a type A. It's nice to see that there's a type A port here. And then the floor is completely flat. It's going to be comfortable for even the middle passenger. And we look up here, and you have a grab handle here, and you have a physical button to turn on the interior lighting. The whole top is Alcantara. It's kind of dark here, so you won't see, but it's all Alcantara. And sat here, it feels very, very premium. And we look up there, you have a panoramic sunroof with this shade, which you can close and open automatically from the front all the way to the back. Right now it's open to the middle section, and you can open the window as well. We'll get to the front in a second. But if you're sat in the back seat, this is what you're going to be looking at. And I would say overall, it has some very nice design touches to the headrest, nice stitching, white stitching contrasting the black, which makes it look really cool. Let's move on to the front and see what it has to offer. So we get into the front passenger seat, and it's the same. You just pull it to open. And I would say those ones, the doors open a bit more further to about maybe 75, 80 degrees, something like that. And we look at the door configuration. It's basically the same as the rear, but obviously you've got the seat controls on the door rather than on the side. You just have the zero gravity function button here. So when I press this button, you can see the cowl support recessing. And I won't say much about the door. I think it's very similar, but it opens really, really wide. And it's nice that there's a nice touch here, illuminated on this aluminum trim here on the floor of the door. It has these illuminated lines. And we look at the seat itself. There's similar stitching to the rear seats, but when we look on the headrest, it's very thick headrest, and it also has, although it's not adjustable like airplane style, it's got these curves here, so your head sits in there and it can support your head, the head of the passenger when they're sleeping. So that's really nice. And there's a nice detail here. So the middle part of these seats are perforated, which allows for cooling and heating. And on the sides you have some Alcantara. So on the sides bolsters, there's Alcantara both top and on the bottom and on the side, so that's nice. Feels very, very firm. And you got airbags integrated in the seats as well. Curtain airbags in the roof. I see some bits of Mercedes here. So if you look at the seat controls on the door and also the air vents, makes it feel like you're looking at the interior of a Mercedes. These days, brands are copying each other. So let's sit in the front passenger seat. And I must say, with a height of 183 centimeters, I feel very, very comfortable, sat up nicely. My back is nicely supported. And headroom, I'll take off my hat. Headroom feels good as well. This seat is raised up by, so this is the lowest position. And if I put on my hat, I still have considerable amount of space. Feels really good everywhere you touch. It's Alcantara everywhere. And at that height, I still have a bit more room. If I just slide my seat back a little, I'll be more than comfortable. So I think even taller passengers are going to be comfortable here. Let's open the glove box and see. So very huge glove box. It's not lined with felt or anything like that. But if that is a problem, you can just find some felt material and stick it in there. Should be fine. And I like how it's designed straight, so it just fits with your feet perfectly. And if we come up here, you have some nice soft leather material, and then you get that bronze color metal trim going here as well. And then you have wood trim stretching from the left all the way to the right. And then you got those Mercedes style air vents here, and a speaker grill here on the A pillar as well. And if we look at here, we got a sun visor, which is comes with a vanity mirror, and you can see it's illuminated all around the mirror, so it's going to light up your face really, really well. It's not one of my favorite plastic covers, but this one is not too flimsy. It feels solid, so you just push it and it snaps in place, and it can go back, push it back in the roof. Almost flat on the top. Comes with some nice soft dash material. Very nice stitching here from the left up to where the screen starts. And if we look down here, we get some space behind under the center console here. Let me get in the driver's seat and show you the rest of the design of the front. So let's get in the driver's seat. So it's the same, you open, and the configuration is the same, but the driver is going to have obviously extra functions, to extra buttons to control the windows, door lock, unlock, mirrors and stuff like that, child lock, all those functions. And doors feel, everything feels of high quality. I'm not advertising this car, I'm just giving my personal honest opinion of what I feel here. And the door opens similarly to what the front passenger had. The seat configuration is the same. The driver's seat doesn't have anything special, extra special things. And if I just sit in the driver's seat, so let me start from the top here. You got your hazard lights. This place is blacked out with piano black. It's too dark for my liking. It might be difficult to see in dark situations, but if it's illuminated, then it's going to be easy. So you get easy to see. So you got your hazard button here. You got an SOS button here. So if I just turn on this light, so you can see airbag indicator there, and they are illuminated when the ignition is on. And you got these buttons here to open and close the panoramic roof and the shade that I showed earlier. And you come down here and you have a rear interior rear view mirror, and you've got this unit housing all the camera systems that I showed earlier. Let me come to the center storage area. So you got this area for resting your hand, serving as an armrest. Is of a perfect height. Your hand just feels comfortable sitting here. And to open the storage area, you just press that and you're exposed to this deep, big storage area. And it serves as a cooler box as well. You can open to allow cool and warm air to come in here. And to close it, you just press that. And we come down to this mode selection area. I believe it's been placed in the right place, because with your hand resting here, you can just change your drive modes, and then you can do a lot of changes here as well, rather than putting them in front. I like this design. You got a button here for controlling your music volume on and off, music volume up and down, your drive modes. You can turn this to change your drive modes. You have heated mirrors here. These are all touch sensitive, both heated front and rear windows. And then you have heated seat controls here as well. And then here in the front, you have your cup holders here. So you got two cup holders. They come with these grips as well to keep things from rattling about. And if you don't need that, you can just cover it up. Very, very neat. Everything is nicely damped. We come up here, we have a wireless charging pad, which is 50, maximum of 50 watts. And then another area here for resting your phone. And then you got the wood panel around it and some aluminum accents around as well. And then the storage area I showed you earlier under the center console is also accessible from here, and you can see illuminated one type C charging port and a one type A charging port. And if we look at the dash itself from the middle, you have three air vents coming, looking very similar to that of the Mercedes, which I already mentioned. And even the design of the screen looks similar to what you have on Mercedes cars, but you got one full piece here, and it's split into half. So this middle part is where you have your main infotainment, and then there's a dedicated one for the driver as well. This car doesn't come with HUD, but you have controls and a screen giving you all the information right behind the steering wheel, so you don't really need an HUD for this kind of car. Let's look at the rest of the interior before we come to the screen. So if you look at the dash, like I already mentioned, it's a relatively flat dash with a speaker grill coming from here, integrated nicely. Got a speaker grill on the A-pillar, and then you got another air vent here. And we look at the steering wheel itself. So the stalks, you got your turn signal stalk here. So if I just turn it on, when you turn on your turn signal, it turns on your cameras too as well. And let's take a little bit deeper look at the screen. So you got time here, you got temperature, you got your parking brake, you got your FM displayed here, you got your tire pressure indicators there, you got your fuel indicator here, rounds per minute, you got a temperature here, your kilometers down there, and you got an image of the car. And I believe you can do a lot more changes there on the screen. And then on the left hand side, you have your turn signal button, which also doubles as your wiper controls and your lighting controls. And on the right hand side, you got a gear stalk here. I'm happy that they brought it up here so that they can, and that's why they can design this place looking, and that's why they can design this area sensibly, because the gear lever has been brought on the right hand side of the steering wheel. And if we look at the steering wheel itself, it's a relatively round steering wheel, only flattened a little bit on the bottom to give the thighs a bit more space. And you get your horn in the middle. The steering itself is made of some nice feeling leather material. And on the left hand side, you have some controls. So you have your cruise control, favorites button, set, cruise control, automatic, all those kind of things. And on the right hand side, you press this to populate your widgets, voice control, volume up down, navigation button, center enter button, airbag integrated there. So overall, a nice steering design. And these buttons are pressed as well. They are not like the VW ones where you just touch or swipe your hand. These are real buttons. So when I push it, you can see the volume on the screen right there changing. So yeah, and I like the steering wheel, the design, it's really nice. And then we go on to the right hand side, the main screen. So we have a home button here where you have this carousel design to populate your settings. And then here you got this screen here. The screen is a little bit white to my liking, but there is a plastic there on it, so I believe when you peel it off, you're gonna have the real screen. But let's look at what it has. So you got your apps here, you got Huawei high car connectivity and all other functions. You got here to control functions of the car, and then you got your temperature controls here. You got navigation here. So the navigation is not the biggest I've seen, but I mean, if we can look at our phones from this distance, I believe this is just right, and it's responsive as well. And we got music controls here, so you can turn on your radio, set on radio now, and then you can go to your call function as well. No phone has been connected, so that won't populate anything. And then you go up here, you have 4G connectivity, you got time, and then you got your profile. So everything looking really nice. You got shortcut widgets here, I should mention that. And then you got all the controls, you got your weather and all other functions. Like I said, a lot of things are not activated yet because this car's just been brought to the showroom. And then you got your start stop button here, which is conveniently placed right behind the gear lever, so right there. So all looking really nice. And if we look on the left hand side, you have a dedicated parking brake here. So if I just turn on, you got a dedicated parking brake here, you got your lighting controls here, you got a boot opening button here. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you did, don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support the channel grow. Till I see you in the next video guys. Ride legal, ride safe always. Peace, and I'm out.